Vivian Evans from Pontyclean. Okay, Vivian Evans from Pontyclean. One of the things you said earlier on was about a risky business, and I just want to widen this out from being about A&E and consultants, because actually it's risky business to be ill in RCT, full stop. You can't get a GP appointment, you cannot get an ambulance, having just had a father-in-law be on the floor for 3 hours waiting for an ambulance, and then to get to A&E. However, the other issue I've got is you're talking about nurse-led services responding and taking some of these issues from the consultant side of it. We've got nearly 1,700 nurse vacancies in Wales. How are you, that has to be included in what you're looking at. How are you going to find registered nurses who are competent and at the levels that they need to be to run the services you're talking about? They're not there. And that's not just part of Wales, that is a UK problem. It's not just doctors, it's nurses, nursing staff. Our whole care system has not got enough staff. And coming to what you were saying earlier on about the immigration and all the rest of it, it's a national thing. And we can't just be looking at it just being about doctors, because it's about the whole system that we have and the whole system that we try to access every single day. Sorry.
A bit low for this. Can I take this off? That's better, yeah. Mics must have been set up by the hospital management. Anyway, firstly, it's an absolute disgrace that the First Minister's not sat there tonight. He has washed his hands of this. Let's leave it to the clinicians, he said. What was it, a couple of days ago? Must be Assembly elections coming up. Anybody who can get to the Assembly on Wednesday needs to be there and give that coward some grief. All right? That's the first thing. Second thing, that story you've just told there, Nick, I've got one myself. Friend of mine, I'll keep the details short, so not to identify anybody. Police officer friend of mine, 6-7 months ago, young child, single-digit age, with a serious but treatable condition. Hour and 10 minutes, no ambulance. Dispatch then called the police to go there. My friend went there, pumping the young child's chest. Died. Now that's up in the Rhondda, right? How do you expect that's going to be when they've got to be taken to Merthyr, or there's ambulance up there? Do you realise it? Dr. Hopkins, you've conceded tonight that the board have been neglectful in recruiting, right? This is not our problem. It's a problem you've got to deal with, right? Absolute incompetence, as usual. The board at that hospital, look at the maternity scandal. What happened there? Oh, she went on the sick long term. She'll collect a fat, juicy pension in a couple of months, no doubt. Yeah, there is no accountability at that trust. How can you expect consultants to up their family from overseas? And when they start, you go, by the way, your job's under threat of redundancy, all right? 6 years that's been. You were incompetent, right? In fairness to you, Dr. Hopkins, you've only been in post and you're trying to clear up the mess. But who are those people that haven't done what they were supposed to do? And where is the accountability for it? Yeah? One more thing. And one more thing. There's a bit of information you can all look at online. Have a look at the 2017 Health Inspectorate report for Princess of Wales A&E services. Stark reading. If you look at it in detail, every single area there requires improvement. And the staff's overwhelming opinion on why there were issues there, and I quote it from the report, I don't know whether you've perhaps bothered reading it. The overwhelming stuff in the report is that we can't deal with it because of the significant increase in patients. That was 2017. What do you think it's like now? You can.
This is a bit scary, isn't it? Hi, my name's Neil. I've been resident in Tontegg and Beidda virtually all my life. Unfortunately, my parents have been quite unwell over the last few years, and I've had to come in and out of A&E on many, many occasions. I can safely say that without that facility here, my mother unfortunately did pass away in October. Without that facility here, my parents would have both been dead by now. So I find what has been proposed in some of the proposals that the health board have been put forward absolutely impossible, to be honest with you. I just want to summarise what I've heard, and sorry, I apologise, I've written some things down. But I've heard from the board that by March you're going to run a strong recruitment campaign to recruit consultants permanently, when you haven't been able to do this for 6 years. You're going to review the demographics information of RCT to see if you can somehow fudge it into a non-24-hour service. You can overcome the charming travel intricacies of our valleys. Unless you build roads through the valleys, I can't see how you're going to do that. You can undertake clinical reference groups. You're going to fully consult with the public, and you're going to test models of delivery, all in 2 months. I can't see how that's possible. I've been responsible for recruiting to posts in my career, throughout my career, and I find it absolutely phenomenal. You haven't managed to recruit anyone in 6 years. Either the board haven't tried very hard, or it's gross mismanagement, which has led to the lack of safety referred to by you, Dr. Lyons. So that sits, I think, with the board. Overall, if I think any of us who'd worked in work had worked the way that you guys have over the last 6 years, we'd probably be out on our years. You guys serve the public, don't you? Is that true? Yeah. I think if you asked everyone here to vote on confidence in this board in the last 6 years, and on what we've heard tonight, I think you'd probably put into special measures, to be honest with you. And I think by a very, very strong, large majority. So my question to you is, I'll get there, is I think that your timeline of coming to a conclusion on this by March is too short. There's absolutely no way you can do all the things that you said you're going to do by then, and you need to review it.
I'll take answers now after this question, then we'll take another batch. Let's just think very quickly. Hands up those who are asking questions. Yes, there's still quite a few. Okay, Dr. Hopkins, I know you haven't been in position long, since July, and the gentleman on the end, Lyons, is it? I don't know, sorry. Since that. How long are you going to be hanging around for? Are you just coming in just to chop and change everything here now, and then scoot off into the sunset? And one for you, Mick. Our First Minister has said this decision is over to clinicians, not to be dealt with politicians. And respect you, you're standing up for us all here tonight, and our MP. But it's not going to be your decision, is it, as politicians, because he's already washed his hands of it. So what are you going to do as our AM to make sure our voice is heard? And would you even be prepared to stand down as a Labour representative to become independent, to put even more pressure on him? Because if he hasn't got his power in the Assembly, then maybe things will be done. Because where's Vaughan Gethin in all this? Where's the Health Minister? He ain't about. He's in Gwent today, having fun with his chums over there.
Listen, I'll say something when I get to the end, because I said right at the beginning,